So in this video, what I want to do for you is pretty simple. I just want to show you exactly who I am. Now, whether you're deciding to listen to my videos and use the information to help you grow your coaching business, or whether you're about to jump on a call with me and considering making that jump, making that investment and taking your business to that next level, I personally think it's important that you know who you're investing into, who I am, and just to know that you're in good hands essentially, because look, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people doing exactly the same thing that I do online. So I think it's nice to pull back the curtains and just show you why you can trust me essentially. So I thought a good point to address so people know a bit more about who I am and what I do is a lot of coaches think that I am a coach myself, where actually what I do is that I'm a digital marketer. I have a digital marketing agency. That is my business. It's not a coaching business. So let me just explain to you why people get confused and obviously what a digital marketing agency is. So the typical way of running a digital marketing agency is that you partner up with a business and you generate leads for them. So you run adverts, you do marketing campaigns, and you send them leads, and then it's the business's decision and choice in how they convert those leads into clients. Now, I didn't initially start out helping coaches, so obviously I was helping builders, I actually was helping estate agents for a while as well. And what I was seeing with no matter what type of business owner that I was helping was that no matter what niche they in, what type of business owner they were, I could run the best advert in the world, I could send them the best quality leads, but I could see there was room for improvement for most businesses in terms of how to convert those leads into clients, into cash in the bank. So a typical digital marketing agency would just stop at the point of getting you the leads, right? And that would be a list of names on a piece of paper and go, there you go, here are some potential customers, do what you want with that. Whereas what I do now is like slightly a bit of a hybrid model. So instead of just bringing coaches a list of names and a list of high quality leads, I have developed a process and a system of how you can convert those leads into clients in an authentic, non-pushy, non-salesy style. So the overlap and where people get confused is because I also help with that part as well, right? So like I said, typically you just get a list of leads, but I felt there was area for me to improve my service, for me to get the clients better results, for my clients to make more money, for them to grow their businesses further. And I saw that was a big sort of gap with every digital marketing agency that was out there. So yeah, that's a lot of the reason why coaches tend to get a little bit confused and say, oh, aren't you a coach? Well, that's essentially it. I'm a digital marketer. I've got a digital marketing agency, and yeah, I've just do it in a little bit of a hybrid style. So a big part of my journey that I've not actually shared with anyone really is that I actually started out this agency whilst working in a 9-to-5, right? So I was actually a project manager in construction, completely random, but I used to, my life was 9-to-5, and I grew up in an area where the expectation was that you go to work, you get a job, or you go to university. So in a sense, I sort of just got pushed into that 9-to-5 life, and I didn't really have much of an option. But what happened very quickly was it was actually 3 months into the journey, I realised that the 9-to-5 just wasn't for me. I felt unhappy. I felt at quite a low point in my life, if I'm being quite honest with you, and I just wasn't happy with the situation that was in. And really, I didn't know anything else, right? That was just the expectation of the area I lived in. That was just what everybody expected of you. So yeah, I got quite quickly to quite a bad point where I felt like, what am I doing with my time and my life? I felt stuck, I felt trapped, and I decided enough was enough. So what I did was I just went on a relentless search just to find something else that I could do with my time, something else that could help me to sustain me and allow me to live aside from the 9-to-5. So it was actually an 8 to 9 month journey simply to find the business model and the digital marketing agency as an option, right? And I stumbled across the digital marketing agency because I wanted to do something that would sustain me for now and for the future, right? And I just understood that sales and marketing in and of itself would allow me to do that. With that skill set, once I'd mastered it, I would I would never be in trouble financially. So yeah, I found the agency as a business model, and yeah, it was an interesting journey. It definitely was. I mean, it was quite a headache in my life. It was it was balancing 9 to 5, the obviously building the agency, but also at the same time, as part of my apprenticeship, I was doing a degree apprenticeship. They expected me to go to university. So I had about 2 years where I was balancing all of these things, right? I was trying to keep my 9 to 5 happy so I could get the salary to pay for the job. I was doing the university assignments because obviously that was the expectation of the job as well. And then I was building the agency, and then obviously I like my fitness, so I'm trying to stay in shape. And then obviously I'm trying to have a social life. So yeah, it was a long and hard journey to get to where I am now, but I'm grateful I did it. It developed me a lot as a person, developed my character. But yeah, that was a massive part of my journey, was transitioning out of that 9 to 5 and going full time with the agency. And yeah, I mean, once I got to that point where my skills were at a competent level, I made that switch and went into the agency full time. And yeah, since then I've never looked back, and yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far. I'm grateful for where I am. But yeah, I always felt like I had greater heights that I could reach in my life, and I felt like I would be capped and suppressed within the 9 to 5, and I felt like I could take my life a lot further, do a lot more outstanding things and achieve a lot more. And for me, it just didn't feel like the 9 to 5 was the place for that, and I felt like my potential was capped. And I guess the best way to put it is, it felt like it dimmed my light. Like I felt like I wasn't me anymore. The young, excited self that I was, it sort of got pushed down and suppressed because I got pushed into this job that I wasn't really happy with. So it took a lot of grit, a lot of determination, a lot of hard work. And I think the main thing that got me through it, obviously because there's a lot of uncertainty through that, is just telling myself and promising to myself that I wouldn't quit, right? No matter how hard it got, no matter how tough the times got, no matter how many things messed up, because a lot of things did. I just promised to myself I wouldn't quit, and I pushed through it, and I was so determined to make it happen. Like every day and every night I'd wake up and go to bed, that was the sole thing that I would think about, is how can I get out of this job? How can I sustain myself? How can I make this agency thrive to get to that level? And obviously that took for me to develop my skill set, to develop me as a person, to just take myself up to those next levels. And it took a lot of time. It was hard work. It was a headache. It was stressful, balancing all of those things. But we got there in the end, and I'm happy I persevered, because yeah, now I love what I do, right? It doesn't feel like work. I don't feel like I'm waking up every day and it's a chore to work. I just feel grateful for the fact that I'm able to do this as a job. And yeah, it's fulfilling what I'm doing, and I couldn't be happier with it, to be honest with you. So yeah. So a cool story that I thought would be interesting for you to know about me as well is how I ended up helping coaches. So like I said earlier, what I do is a digital marketing agency, and the niche that I started out helping with wasn't actually coaches initially. So obviously, exactly like coaches, I can help any type of person do anything, right? So I can help builders, estate agents, roofers, beauty salons, whatever I want. And I actually started out helping estate agents. Now, like I mentioned earlier, one of the things that I was finding with estate agents was that the turnaround from me bringing them a lead to that client getting money in the bank, obviously because of the housing market, wasn't great. And the other thing that I found, which I didn't like eventually, was that when I was working with estate agents and then eventually builders, I found that they were solely in it for the money, right? So the clients and the leads that I bought them, they were more interested about the commission and the money that I would make off of the back of that. So I went through a phase on my journey where I was quite focused on making money, and that's all I really cared about. And I think because of that, at that time, estate agents made sense for me. But once I went through quite a lot of self-development myself and growing myself and bettering myself, I detached from the money quite quickly. I wasn't sort of as worried about the outcome, and I genuinely wanted to make positive income on people's lives. So eventually what actually happened was I realised that the estate agents and builders market that I was trying to help didn't really align with me as a person. And look, I got some decent results with them, I generated them some good leads, but I wanted clients that aligned with me more as a person. So I actually considered coaches initially because my dad. So my dad doesn't do it full time, but as his little part-time thing, he does coaching, right? He's an ICF certified coach. And he mentioned to me that he knew coaches in, well, the coaching world that were running their own businesses that were really struggling to get clients, and what I did would benefit them a lot. Now, being a stubborn, typical ignorant son, I ignored him for a while and I searched around for other niches, etc. But eventually I decided to listen to him. And what happened was I went to a networking event in central London, just looking to connect with like-minded business owners. And the keynote speaker there was a coach, right? And he was very successful in his business. And essentially, I thought this would be a good opportunity to test my dad's theory and see if what he was saying was true and relevant. So essentially, I didn't have an opportunity to speak to this guy, and I'd been trying to get to him the whole night. But luckily, as I was about to leave, he popped out of the toilet right in front of me, and I said to him, look, mate, I explained to him what I do. I explained to him I've got a digital marketing agency, and I explained to him that I was considering coaches. And I said to him, well, do you think coaches is a niche that's going to benefit from my services? And he sort of just laughed at me and he went, mate, of course, like we constantly need clients. And from that moment on, that was where I pivoted and solely went all in on coaches. And I'm really happy I did, to be fair, because the thing I like personally about the coaching industry is that the coaches care about their clients a lot. It's all about growing, it's all about developing their clients. And obviously my digital marketing agency is called Evolute, right? And the way that word was drawn together was about evolving and growing people. So my whole thing is about, and this whole journey for me has been about evolving myself, and growing those around me. So I really wanted to have that aligned in every way, shape or form. So by me working with clients who I'm evolving and growing, and by me working with clients who are evolving and growing their clients, it just really aligned and it just sort of made sense. And I mean, it took us a while to get there. We went around in a bit of a circle, but we got there eventually. But yeah, that's my story to why I'm helping coaches, and that's my niche. That's where I'm going to stay in. And I'm grateful and I'm glad that I did pick coaches eventually, because yeah, I get a lot of fulfillment from helping the coaches and changing around their situations, but also it's fulfilling to know that I'm able to bring those coaches clients that they're then turning their lives around. So it's just a really positive cycle of just helping people at the end of the day. And like I said, I've stopped that chase of money for myself. I've stopped that chase of just wanting a quick cash grab, and I genuinely want to impact people's lives positively. And there's no better feeling than helping someone and turn around their situation. So the fact that I'm now able to do that with coaches and allowing them to do that with their clients is amazing. So yeah, that's the story of how I got into helping coaches. So what I've created for the coaches that I'm working with is something called the Coaching Evolution. Now, obviously I've been doing this digital marketing agency for a good few years, right? And I've tried pretty much every ad strategy under the sun. And I've spent years of trial and error, right? Trying to get the right process, the right combination of adverts, marketing, etc. And after years of headache, stress, sacrifice, a minimum of 12+ hour days, what I've been able to develop is a process that allows coaches to sell and market themselves efficiently, but also most importantly, in a way that's authentic to them, right? And this process so far has been responsible for literally multiple six figures in revenue for coaches. But the reason I created the Coaching Evolution and the reason I've called it that is because it's a movement, right? It's not just a way of running your business, a way of sales and marketing. It's about evolving the way you operate as a coach, right? And all the coaches in there, I call them evolved coaches because they've changed the way they operate. They're no longer that old style of coach. They're able to market themselves authentically and consistently find their dream clients. They're able to sell in a non-pushy, non-salesy, authentic style to consistently allow them to get clients. So everything I'm doing with coaches is, like I said, linking back to the reason that I started this business is to evolve and grow them, is to take them to that next level, is to up-level them. So the Coaching Evolution, really, I see it as a movement. I see it as a new way of operating as a coach because, again, especially when I go back to that point of when I was speaking with my dad and the guys that he knows, none of them know how to sell or market themselves. No one knows how to get clients authentically and consistently. So this movement, the coaching evolution, is all about coaches being able to consistently and predictably do that. And they've evolved the way they operate because they simply know how to do it. So it's simple as that. And with the way the industry's going, the amount of growth and change that's happening, you're either the old style of coach who's stuck and doesn't know what they're doing, or you're an evolved coach. You know how to sell, you know how to market, and you know how to predictably and consistently get clients. But yeah, I thought it'd be interesting for you to know a little bit about the coaching evolution, how it works and how it serves coaches, and how we're making waves and we're making change and we're helping people grow to extraordinary levels that they never thought possible. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a fun segment. I've asked the coaches that I'm working with to get me to answer a few questions about myself so you can get to know me a little bit more personally as well, instead of just my journey and business, etc. So, first one, what are my passions? So, what do I do in my spare time? I mean, to be honest, my life's pretty boring. It's not too exciting. I enjoy my work. I spend a lot of my time working. If I get up to anything in my spare time, it's a lot of golf. I mean, it's a very frustrating sport and it probably caused me more headache than working, but that's what I do. I'm also quite into football. So unfortunately, I support Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, some of you I know will be Americans, that will mean nothing, but for the English ones, you'll know that means a headache in itself. But we've got a season ticket. I like to go with my dad every now and then, watch the games. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, what I get up to is not too interesting. So they're my passions, I'd say. And then, okay, so have I got any habits? So habits, I mean, I'd say, do you know what I'd say? Like, my fitness is important for me, and it's become a bit of a habit in and of itself, staying in shape, looking after my body, going to the gym, etc. So a gym's a big part of my life, and for me, I find that it's nice to have that balance instead of sitting behind the computer all day. Another interesting habit about me is I've actually become obsessed with learning. So I read a book a week. So I know it's a bit extreme, but I went from actually despising reading. I remember my parents buying me books, trying to encourage me to read, me telling them that's a waste of time, to now reading a book a week. I mean, I read on all sorts: business, philosophy, sales, marketing, anything under the sun. I read a book a week. So yeah, again, to be honest with you, my life's pretty boring, but these are the little things I get up to. So next question, what are big beliefs you have in your life? So I think a big belief that I've developed, and something that I've sort of come to terms with more as I've got more into this, is that I truly believe like anyone can do anything with their lives, and the potential that people can reach is unlimited. And I think, especially with some of the coaches that I've worked with and like the levels that we've got them to and the income levels, and they've gone, I never thought this was possible. I think for myself, it's really just opened my eyes to what anybody can achieve. So I say a big belief of mine is that, yeah, anybody can do what they want, anyone can achieve what they want in their life. And I think with the right mindset and skill set behind you, I do truly believe that anyone can achieve anything. And then lastly, we've got, have I got any vices or bad habits? So do you know what? I'm quite a good boy. I don't really drink. I don't really go out. I don't do anything. I'd say my guilty pleasure is I've got a bit of a sweet tooth. That's probably the most out there thing about me. Like I said, I'm pretty boring. I don't get up too much. And apart from that, bad habits, sometimes I overwork myself. So it's not a bad thing, but sometimes I struggle to strike a balance between working or getting frustrated with golf. But yeah, I think, yeah, that's it. Like I said, there's not too much interesting to me. I just really love the work I do. I really love helping coaches. I really love getting better in myself and better in other people. Like I said, evolving and growing. That name's there for a reason. And yeah, that's me. That's a little bit of a fun segment about me. So yeah, that's me, that's my story, that's a little bit about who I am. And like I said at the start, whether you're looking to just get more information to help you grow your coaching business, or whether you're about to jump on a call with me and want to know more about me, like I said, I think it's important that you get to know who you're talking to, who you're listening to, and just make sure you've got that trust there. So that's my story. So yeah, look, I mean, my mission for myself and for the business is I want to be a leader in the coaching space, right? I want to take things to the highest level possible. I want to be the go-to guy, and I know I'm going to get there eventually. It's just a matter of time. And yeah, I think the more that I do this, the more I get into it, the more I see the impact that I have on coaches' lives and how I'm able to transform people's situations around. I think I get more and more driven every single time to take things to that next level. So yeah, that's my mission for my business, is just to take things to that next level, help and connect with as many people as I can, as many coaches as I can. And like I said, I just realised with helping coaches how many of them are just missing that sales and marketing fundamental. And that sales and marketing part is the part, that's the engine of your business, right? No matter how good of a coach you are, if you can't get clients, you can't do anything with that. You can't leave the impact on the world that you're supposed to leave. So yeah, I believe there's a lot of coaches out there with untapped potential. My mission is to reach and connect with as many of them as I possibly can. And yeah, I hope that shows you who I am. I hope that gives you a bit of context, and hopefully one day we'll connect, and I'm glad to have you on the journey with me.